Okay, so I just got back from Target. I just wanted to show you my haul that I got. I spent about $200, but I got a lot of stuff, personal items I needed. This trash can, because I needed a new trash can for one of our bathrooms, and litter and stuff like that. So it added up. But I needed some free and clear detergent, Lysol spray, sponges, like I said, some personal products, and sprays, makeup remover, dish soap, milk, eggs for breakfast, roasted garlic mashed potatoes. I'm going to be making crock pot French dip sandwiches, and I anticipate having leftovers of the roast. So I'm going to make that with mashed potatoes and peas that I have. Long grain wild rice is for a salmon dish that I'm going to be making, which I will show you. Rainbow quinoa, we make some quinoa stuffed avocados, so I'll be using that. We love the mac and cheese Kraft Deluxe for the kids to have on hand. Just some greens for lunch for salad. I'm going to be using this for the salmon dish, as well as the stuffed avocados, and I mean my daughter and I will just snack on these as well. Strawberries, avocado. The French onion soup is for the French dips. It's one of my favorite recipes. The kalamata olives will go with the salmon. Some jelly, mayo, Ovaltine for the kids. Buffalo ranch. My son is obsessed with like buffalo and ranch, and so we're gonna try that. French bread pizzas for some lunches. The Havarti cheese is going to be for lunch, or for also the French dips. Some mesquite smoked turkey breast, salted butter. These my son is obsessed with Takis mini bites. It's just like cheese with the Taki seasoning. Gotta have our peanut butter, creamy and extra crunchy for my husband. He eats this almost every night as like a treat. Some granola bars, Swiss rolls, because I'm having my treats. Takes me back. Some chips, Coke, and some box wine for mom. And then I already have the meat for the French onion. I already have the meat for the French dip and the salmon. So I have that frozen. I'll just take that out and thaw it when I'm ready for dinner. So I'm going to start off by making a sauteed salmon with tomato and kalamata olive salad. And you just need 1 cup of grape tomatoes, some kalamata olives, a lemon, extra virgin olive oil, and then the salmon. And this is just one of our absolute favorite meals that's in our rotation. It's heart healthy. It's so tasty. The olives and the lemon juice just cut right through the fishiness of the salmon, and it just tastes so good. And I'm just going to start by having my washed grape tomatoes and kalamata olives and mixing them in a bowl with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil, the juice of half of a lemon, and some salt and pepper. Normally I also put chopped basil in mine, but my store was out when I went, so I actually ended up using pesto on the salmon instead that I had on hand. And then I'm just going to go ahead and put the salad in the fridge to chill while I cook. After patting the salmon dry, I'm just going to spread some pesto on top of it while the oil heats in the pan. And usually if I'm using basil instead of pesto, I'll just season the salmon with salt and pepper. But you're just going to want to saute the salmon in the pan for about 4 minutes on each side. And I do wish I got more of a sear on my fish, but the pesto was popping all over the stove, so I had to turn down the heat. But definitely try and get a good sear on there if you're just sauteing it. And so I have microwaved my long grain and wild rice. This is the Good and Gather brand. It is so tasty. I feel like wild rice a lot of times has like crunchy pieces. This does not have that, and it is really good. It's just 90 seconds, super quick for a really easy dinner. And sometimes I'll do risotto or roasted potatoes instead, but you just put the rice on the plate, and then you want to top the salmon with the cold salad mixture. And the blend of these flavors together is just amazing. Like if you don't even like salmon, you can use any other white fish of your choice, and altogether this meal only took me about 15 minutes to throw together. It's healthy, it's good for your heart, it has really good fats in it, and it's definitely an easy weeknight dinner, especially for summertime. put most of these recipes up on the screen, so if you're interested, just take a screenshot. Okay, so this is everything you're gonna need for this super easy crock pot French dip sandwich. I got this on sale, so I had it frozen. It is now almost 9:30, and so I'm gonna get this started. Normally I like to leave it cooking for 8 to 10 hours on low, but since it's frozen, I'm gonna start it on high. And then you are gonna need a beer. The beer will help to tenderize the meat, also gives really good flavor. We have High Life right now, so that's what we're gonna put in there. You don't need it if you don't want to cook with alcohol, but of course alcohol cooks out. And then this can of French onion soup, and then I have the equivalent to a can of beef broth or beef consomme. Normally you could just get the Campbell's concentrate, but I have the Better Than bouillon, so I put that in there, and I just made it, you know, according to how you're supposed to make it here, because it's pretty salty. I know that the Campbell's is condensed, so it's actually a bit saltier and more rich because you're supposed to cut it with the water, but we will be cutting it with the beer, and I can always add more later if it needs that flavor. But it's super easy. You just dump everything in and set the crock pot for either 8 to 10 hours on low, depending on how big your meat is. I think I'm gonna put it on high for a little while, and I'm home all day, so then I'll change it over you know, once I see that it's really breaking down and thawing out. Hi, cat. Get out of here. Okay, so it's now just about 2 o'clock, and I think I'm gonna turn it down. You can see it's a nice fatty piece, so we definitely want enough time for that fat to break down. Sorry, my kids are playing. But let's see. I think I'm gonna keep it on high. It still feels, I think I'm gonna cook it on high today because I don't want to eat too late tonight. But like if I know it's gonna be a late night, sometimes I'll let it just slow cook on low. But because it was frozen and it's kind of big, I'm gonna leave it on high. So this is another one of our very favorite meals that we pretty much have on a constant rotation, and it's one of those that you can just put in a crock pot or even in the Instant Pot, and it doesn't heat up your whole house. It's great for those nights when you have practice or you're running the kids around, and honestly my kids and my husband, they both love it, and so that's a bonus because my kids, they don't eat the fish that I made earlier. So I'll make that for me and my husband and make some mac and cheese or something for the kids, but everyone loves this. My daughter actually ended up having hers on a pretzel bun, which you'll see, but you're just going to want to toast the rolls with butter, and I just do it in the oven, or you can do it in the toaster oven, and then I put a mayonnaise on top too, because I swear just that fat with the meat, it's just so good. It cuts through it and it's delicious. And you assemble. Today I'm using Havarti, but provolone is great on here as well, and you just want to get a lot of those good pieces of meat, no fat, on the sandwich. But all I need is a little au jus, and tonight I'm serving it with some garlic Parmesan fries from the grocery store, and it's just so good. It's like one of my comfort foods. This is definitely one that you are gonna love. Next, I'm making the Southwestern quinoa stuffed avocados, and this is one of my husband's favorite meals. This one's really good if you like to eat vegetarian at all like we do. We like to eat once a week just to save a little money. But you can also bulk it up by adding some shrimp or chicken if you want. But this is also a really good recipe to put away in the fridge to eat for lunch throughout the week as well. But you want to start by rinsing 1 cup of quinoa really well in a strainer, and this will help to keep it really fluffy after it's cooked. And then toast it in a pot with some extra virgin olive oil or whatever oil you choose. And then you're going to smell a little bit of like a nutty fragrance. That's when you're going to know it's time to add the chicken broth, or you can just add water. It's 1.5 cups that you're going to want to add, bring to a boil, and cover and simmer for 20 minutes. And then I'm just putting it in a bowl, and I actually let it chill for a while before I added in the can of black beans and a can of corn. I don't think I put the whole can of corn, but I just kind of eyeball it to proportion. And then I am putting in some half grape tomatoes. I think this was just about a cup as well, but I always just kind of eyeball it. I really follow all my recipes loosely. I wrote all these recipes pretty much just from making them for like the past 10 years since we've been married. But I also am adding some shallot that I chopped earlier. Sometimes I will add green onion, but I didn't have any. I had the shallot that I wanted to use up. And then you're going to want to half the avocados. We usually just do 1/2 each, and I say stuffed, but like the hole is so small. And I'm such a hungry lady, so I pretty much just top the avocado with the quinoa salad. I've let it chill at this point for a while in the fridge, so it's more like a cold salad. And eventually I do cut up the avocado, and sometimes you can actually see it here in the Ziploc baggie, but we make mayonnaise we'll add sometimes we'll do sour cream, but we'll add some hot sauce and mix it up, and we make that's like our piping bag, and we'll drizzle our spicy mayo all over. But it's really good. You can also just season it with salt and pepper, or just do some salsa. But this is a really good, really light and healthy recipe. You can make it ahead of time. You can take it to barbecues. It is so tasty. It looks delicious, and you definitely should try this one. This last one was just another really quick one. I'm just making mashed potatoes from my bag, no shame, and some garlic butter peas. I'm using leftover roast from the other night. I had tons left over, fixing it into another meal. And for my peas, I sauteed some garlic in the pan with butter, and then kind of cooked the frozen peas and just seasoned with salt and pepper, and just basically assembled it all. It came together very quickly, as long as it took for the water to boil, pretty much. And it's a proper English meal here with our roast beef and our potatoes, our mash, and our peas. But I just want to say thank you for watching. All of these meals took less than 30 minutes to make. Super easy, super quick, doesn't heat up your kitchen, great for summer. But if you liked any of these, please give this video a like, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!